Hello! Merry Christmas and Happy Honda Days! I made this beautiful plant stand out of mostly scraps as a secret Santa gift to one of my roommates who loves plants. Now I may not have plants, but I do have things. Before we can jingle those bells or deck the halls, we actually have to make the thing. In my hands, I hold the plans for this very beautiful project. Now, if you zoom in and take a screenshot, don't. I am still working through how to make this work. Just a basic plan and idea. And we're going to have 4 main structures that everything will hang off of. And we'll have 4 shelves that cantilever at opposing heights so it balances the whole thing, and a big old base to make sure nothing topples, because we're going to put plants on this, and plants are oftentimes heavy. That's about it. Let's get going.
People sometimes ask why we build everything out of scraps. Well, it's because of this. This is all wood that was left over from other projects or wood that friends have given us. We have great friends, but we can usually pull right off this rack for whatever we need to build. Plus behind me there's a parts bin with about 300 pieces of cutoffs from other projects. So we always come here first when we start a project. Scraps, save your wood.
The first step is to rip the wood down to 1.5 inches wide. We'll use that width for all of the structural components. And then we'll cut 6 48-inch long pieces to use for the vertical and horizontal structure. Then we'll use our trusty nail gun loaded with 1.5-inch nails to put this together. A single 10-inch strip of wood is glued and nailed across the top of 2 of the supports. This will form the top shelf of the planter. You'll make 2 of these for the front and back supports. And then one of the 48-inch strips that you have left over is attached in the same way to the bottom of this structure.
Alright, now we've got the 2 big structure pieces. These are the legs that dictate the height. They will stand like this, at this height, with me as the reference, which if you don't know how tall I am 600 feet tall, so this is pretty tall. Now for shelves. This board is going to be split, and they're going to comprise the sides of the shelves. This board, which is much thinner and more fun to wobble around, is going to be horizontal slats. Each shelf is going to have some slats, and that's going to keep it together. They are small and thin, but if there are many, then they can be strong. Much like ants, this plant stand will be strong, and if you pour aluminum down the hole, everything will die in it. This is not like ants at all, actually.
Cut 8 20-inch long strips from the 1.5-inch strips that you made before. These will be used to make our 4 cantilevered plant shelves. Make sure you sand everything. It'll make painting easier, and will probably make the plants safer.
All the structure pieces have been cut and sanded and are ready to be assembled.
Glue and nail or screw 4 of these arms on each side of the twin supports that you've already built. You'll set them off to the left and right like you see here. Just space them equidistant and you'll be good to go.
Hey, didn't see you there. Got this part finished. Now, as you can see, these 2 pieces are wibbly wobbling around. Can't have that. That can't hold plants. Therefore, we need some structure. These big, fat, wide ones, we're going to put some at the top and some at the base because they are stronger and they'll be able to keep the whole thing from not racking. But don't worry, a few of these won't actually hold the whole thing. No. What's going to comprise the shelves is a bunch of these little ones. So they're going to be stacked all the way along. Therefore, this thing is going to be super strong. It won't rack, and it'll hold any plants that you may need it to do. So, it's time to go.
Your slats will be 9 inches long. We don't know how many you're going to need because we don't know how wide your slats are going to be. We're using slightly wider slats for the top and bottom because, well, we had them and we wanted to glue them and nail them in place for strength. The other slats are much lighter and narrower because all they have to do is support plants.
We have the top and the base all done. Their slats are a little bit wider than the other ones that will go on the other shelves because these are strength pieces. They also have glue to be extra strong. The rest of the shelving is not going to have glue because we won't need it. But without further ado, time to put the slats on.
time to paint. We're using spray paint on this because it's a complex shape and hand painting would take a lot of time and we're lazy. So spray paint it is.
Much later.
Well, that's a wrap on the plant stand. I forgot everything else I was supposed to say. Well, that's a wrap on the plant stand. Now I need to go give it to somebody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon if you don't want to miss an upload. We make many things, including things like this. Goodbye!